Well, I turned the sprinklers on and I finally found a bubbler in the middle. There's one for each tree. There's 3 bushes and then it all kind of flows together. And I thought it was going in from the back side. And I crawled in through there. Crawled in from that end, came across, got down in there, and I actually found a drain back there. I didn't even know we had a drain. See where my hammer is? Right on the left side of the hammer. There's a drain right there. That way if this area gets too full of water, it's supposed to drain through there instead of going out on the sidewalk and on the grass and down. That way it was all covered up, and I found it. So now I'll kind of clean up the dirt around there and restack the rocks and stuff, but I couldn't find, I started digging right in here, I couldn't find anything, and I thought, okay, I followed the drip that was going next to this, and it was all covered down underneath the ground. I could hear it. So I got that resituated. I figured it was coming from the other side, and I did some digging here. I moved all the bark over first before I started digging. Let's get you down there. Let's get you down there. You see there? There it is. I even had to dig a little bit with my screwdriver. And the drain is right here, okay? So I knew they had a ditch in there for the drain. I don't know where it comes out at. And I figured they probably put this down in that same ditch, and sure enough they did. But I don't have to uncover it any more than that, do I? If you remember how I'm going to poke it, I'm going to poke a little hole on this pipe so I can poke it right through the side. And here's my line, and I thought, okay, where am I going to go? Am I going to go right there or over here? I think I'm going to go over like that, over on this side. That way this can flop down and scoot up through there. But before I hook it up, I've got to make a little trench here, because see, here was a root here, there's another root over there. So as I fish this, I'm going to have to fish it underneath everything, and then it's going to come in and it's going to zip in there sideways like that, and I just have to come out with a coupling straight, and then this tubing will bend all by itself. See, I don't need a 90-degree elbow there. And this was the one, this was the bubbler. It's on a little stand. The stand was sideways and this was all down in the ground. So now I've got that pooched up above that. And before I do this, I've got to get in on the other side, dig it all out kind of like this. And if there's any other roots over there, chances are there are. Because see, this is a big bush now. There's all kinds of roots. Here's a big one here. There's another one down there, it comes across here. And so I'll dig some more over there. Got my hammer ready, got my cutters ready, got my screwdriver ready. And I thought maybe I'll use this too, but really don't really need that per se, because I just used my hammer, my claw on the hammer, you know, and I got my gloves on and everything. And so I'll get back in there and get going some more. So yeah, now I gotta crawl back down in there. Again, it doesn't look like there's very much room down there, huh? But you know what? There's a will, there's a way. I'll show you how I do it. Bye-bye. Whew, glad that portion's done. On for the next step. Oh, let's get you down there. You see, I dug out around that, and that's why I didn't want to hook it up just yet. Because see the roots? Here I had to dig through there, and I used my little screwdriver and stuff. I even had one here. I didn't want to start cutting off all the roots, especially these big roots, you know, to get it down lower. Had I connected it, then I fished it. I fished it all the way, went underneath that root, and now it's loose. And then I'm gonna go back down there, poke the hole, put a coupling in there, and hook that up. Okay? That right there is my next step. Whew. Okay, what do we have here? Got all my bits and pieces in here. I know, see here's the little elbows, the 90-degree elbows. I don't need those just this minute. I didn't used to carry those, but I carry them now because if you saw the last video, you would have seen why I needed to use those. These are T's. Here we go. Yeah, see, if you want to add two bubblers or something, or you want to go two different directions, I mean, you can use these too. And I've used those before. This is just called a connector. That's all it is. You poke it in there. And to poke it into the pipe, I got this thing here. Okay. I'm just going to poke that, and then I'm going to put this on the pipe first, on the 1/4-inch tubing first. Okay. Then I'm going to poke this into the big tube. I'm going to take this whole thing with the tube already on it and poke it in. Sometimes you can poke it in if you pinch it and hold it really hard, hold your mouth just right and push this in until your fingers burn. But I find that it's easier to take my pliers in there. You don't want to hold it right there because then this can flop around. You want to get it right in there like that as you're poking it to try to keep it straight so it doesn't bend as you're trying to poke it in. That's all I need for my next step. Now I can't hold this and do the whole thing. I don't have 3 hands, but see how I've got this located in there like that underneath this root. That's why I didn't want it too close here. I want it over here for a long sweep. And well, maybe I can do this part right here. I'm laying down on my belly. See, take this and I'm gonna push it in. Oh, probably right in there. Right about there. Did you hear it? It clicked in. I've got it in there. Look at that. See, there's a little bit of water coming out. The bubblers are off, but there's a little water in the pipe. That's okay. Okay. So now I need 2 hands on this. It'll be, you know, I'm gonna put that in there and I'm gonna take my pliers and hold it all down there and poke that in. I don't want to poke this in first and then try to push this on because it's too difficult to do that. It's kind of a little bit of a chore to get that in nice and tight. And so it's easier to do this part right here first. Then take the whole thing, hold your pliers on there and poke it in there until it snaps. Until it snaps in there. And it'll snap and it'll hold. Okay? It's hot today too. This concrete is pretty hot, but hey, it is what it is, right? I can actually pull this all the way out here because it's going underneath that wall. So I guess I can hook this. I can hook this right on there. Just like that. Okay. Now I can push that back, and I could probably do it without the pliers. I'm going to try without the pliers first. Sometimes I can snap it, other times I can't. We'll just see if I can here. There, got it. Okay. I was able to snap it after all without using my pliers. You probably want to see what that looks like. You know, most of these repairs and ads, once you do one, you can pretty much figure it out from there. I'm making the assumption you haven't seen any of my other videos. I got quite a few on drip irrigation. See how I just got this looped in there, and I can make it long. I know I've got to pull it through that wall and then cut it, put a 90 on there and push it back tight to the wall. So if I cut it, you know, up tight like that, then I've got enough slop to then push it back so I'm tight to with the elbow right to the front side of that concrete stucco wall back there. Okay, and then I'll come back and cover this up and see when I put the dirt in, this won't push down at all. See how that fitting is in there all nicely. And then I'll push it down just a little bit like that and then cover it that way. Okay? And I'll cover all that other stuff up there, clean that up and all that. That's something nice and easy, but I want to get everything hooked up first, right? Let's get everything hooked up first. Get you back on their tripod. And we'll go back here and see what parts we need next. I know I'm going to need an elbow at the wall, a 90-degree elbow there, 90-degree elbow on the inside corner there. I think I'll clean up that corner maybe a little bit or something. Or maybe I can wedge it. I clean this out, maybe I can wedge the pipe right underneath a couple of these edges. And then I'll probably put a 90-degree elbow here before I dip it up, rather than dip it straight up from here. I'll come over there and dip it up. We'll see. We'll see. Okay, get my parts and clean that up a little bit, and I'll be ready to go some more.